Hey everybody, it is Karen with Are You Prepared Mama? Do you ever feel like you struggle to get everything done that you want to get done or that you need to get done? And even if you can get all the things done in your busy schedule, do you struggle to have time for yourself? Today, I am going to show you how you can make progress toward each of your goals every week, but also how you can have dedicated downtime to decompress and gain back some of that brain space that is squeezed out by all of your responsibilities. Make sure you stick around to the end to hear a simple trick I have to keep myself from getting frustrated when my schedule gets upset. Be brave, steal my trick, and be a cool cucumber, even if your plans get upset too. Our schedule always starts with a to-do list. Each week of the 2024 Prepper Planner has an area for goal setting, also known as a to-do list. In here we have personal, professional, preparedness, and other. And by separating our to-do lists into 4 different areas, we can help keep our lives balanced so that we're not focused too heavily on work and family is suffering, or we're not trying to get too much accomplished on preparedness to the detriment of work on the others section, which in my case is ministry. So using these 4 lists helps to not overload one area. Later, we'll talk about what you'll do if one category of your to-do list has too much on it. So once we have our goals down, we're going to move over to our 2-page spread for the week. And we're going to start by filling in everything non-negotiable into your week. Do you work at set times? Fill those in. Do you have to run your kids to and from activities? Yep, include those too. So one tip I want to give you for this is I use a different colored pen for different activities that I do during the week. That way I can see if there's anything out of balance. So dark blue is for ministry. Light blue is for personal. Purple is for my business time. Pink is for family activities. Green I use for household appointments. And red for my husband's activities so that I can keep track of who is running the kids and who needs which vehicle. Black we're going to use for something totally different, and I'll show you that in just a couple minutes. Also, one of the things that I do is I schedule one-on-one time each week with my kids. If I have it down on my calendar, then we're also making sure that we're spending that time. It's not just I'm going to spend that time when I can fit it in. So with my husband, and then for me, I have 4 kids at home. With each of my kids, I put it on my calendar the time that I'm going to spend with them each week. So that's something else that I do that could be incredibly helpful. Okay, so once we have all of our non-negotiables filled into our week, now we're going to block off times for our 4 different goal areas: personal, professional, preparedness, and in my case, pastor's wife, because I like alliteration. So I've gone through and I have filled out everything in here with categories. I have downtime in blue, I have work scheduled out in purple, I have family scheduled out in pink, and then I have preparedness or other items that I have to get done in green. So that's how I filled this out. Now, when you schedule your personal time, make sure you schedule some downtime. This isn't family time. This isn't Aaron's time. This is your time. Do what you love. How can you be pampered? How do you decompress? What would you enjoy? An at-home pedicure? A nap? Time out with a friend? I love to write fiction stories during my downtime, or I used to go to Culver's and buy a diet root beer and sit there for 3 hours where I couldn't be interrupted. And sometimes I would just watch Netflix on my phone just to create some headspace. After you put in the different categories from your goal sheet on here, then I draw a line down the left-hand side of each column, indicating how much time each activity is given. Then that's how the blocks get started. Next, we're going to give each time a purpose. But what do you do when you have more items on your goal sheet than you have space on your schedule? You prioritize your goal list. What has to get done this week, and what do you have a little wiggle room on? So I go down my list here, and then if I have too much, I will prioritize and give each thing a value. What is most important? What is second most important? What is third most important? That way, if I have too much on my to-do list to get done, I have the ability to say, okay, this doesn't need to be done this week. And then I will circle that on here if I don't have it scheduled, so that if I have free time that I didn't expect, or something didn't take as long as I thought, then I can fill it in with that item. What I'll do is I'll go down and I will prioritize this list. And after you've done that, then you're going to fill in your allocated time slots with those to-dos, with those goals. If you have 1 hour or 2 hours, what can you put in there from your goal sheet so that you're making sure that you're getting all of these to-dos or all of your goals done in that time? Now, you'll see on here, I've gone ahead and filled in black under the different categories what I plan on doing during that time slot from my goals list. Now, as you actually accomplish these things, you're going to go back and you are going to cross the items off on your goals list. Now, why are we going to do that? So besides filling in your goal sheet each week, the planner also has a journaling page. And the journal has different things, including memories that were created, goals that were accomplished last week, things which happened last week for which I am grateful, last week's struggles, how I overcame those struggles, or I have a space in here where you could brainstorm how you plan on overcoming those struggles, and then goals that were carried over to this week. If I have items from last week which didn't get crossed off, I can add them to the goals that were carried over from last week. And then when I get ready to plan my next week and I start with my to-do list, it's all right here. And one week informs the next, and that's how you set up your week. Now, I promise to tell you how I keep myself from getting angry when my schedule gets upset, and how you can too, and I will. But first, this is the 2024 Prepper Planner. It was just launched on Amazon in paperback, and it was launched on Lulu in spiral bound form. It has everything that you would expect in a planner, but what sets this planner apart is it has a page each month that is to learn, to do, and to buy. So for May of 2024, we're going to focus on 3 areas of preparedness: preparing our house systems, medical, preparing our house systems, sanitation, and preparing our homestead or garden. And then I give you an activity to learn in each of the areas, to do, and to buy in each of the areas. You don't have to spend the money. You don't have to focus on 3 areas, but you are always moving your preparedness forward, and you don't have to ask yourself, what am I going to do this month? What's important for me to do? So besides having the to learn, to do, and to buy, each month has an in the garden and an on the homestead section. And the garden tips are by zones. So in different zones, it'll tell you what you can be doing that month. And then in the homestead section, it gives you just some suggestions of things that you can be doing on the homestead. Also, for each month, you're going to get a food storage recipe. For this month, we have cornbread. The food storage recipes are all made with shelf-stable foods, so you don't have to worry about, do you have to have perishables in order to make them? That way, if you ever have a difficult time and you are living from your food storage, you have recipes that will work for you from all shelf-stable foods. So each month has that food storage recipe. And then as I've shown you, it also has the journal pages, which aren't in a lot of planners. So if you're interested in the 2024 Prepper Planner, you can purchase it in spiral bound on lulu.com, or you can purchase it in paperback from Amazon. You will find a link in the description. Now, how do I not get frustrated when my schedule gets thrown off by helping a child with school or having a discussion with my husband that wasn't planned on? Let's flip back to the pages that I just wrote on. What you will notice here is I have blocks of time that are not blocked off. So here on Monday, I have 3 hours that I don't have anything scheduled. On Tuesday, I have 2 hours that I don't have anything scheduled. On Thursday, I've got 2 hours that I don't have anything scheduled. Friday, there's 3 hours. And Saturday, there's 3 hours. So if one of my slots that I had items scheduled gets taken over by something like a discussion or having to help a child or having to run an errand, I have free time in my schedule that I can move those slots too. So I still get it done and I don't have to be frustrated because I built in that time. So don't overfill your schedule and don't schedule every minute of your week. Give yourself those buffer zones. So when you're apprehensive because you're having a hard time scheduling for necessary items, let alone downtime, remember this. Use the principles that I have shown you in this video and you got this, Mama.